Hello and welcome to this online e-safety update. Just a little about me to start with. My name is Dave and I work with High-Tech. We partner with organisations to help keep their IT secure and reduce risks. But enough about that for now. Today we'll be looking at what the current issues are around e-safety. These change all the time, so it's important to keep up to date. What to do, ways to protect you, your organisation and the people you serve, and where to look for help. Let's talk about what IT does to start with. The short answer, a lot. Organisations invest a lot of resource into protecting you, your customers, and the organisation against breaches. Criminals, though, are clever and will go to almost any length to break in. The UK government's cybersecurity arm, NCSC, say it's a matter of when, not if, organisations will be attacked. Within the UK and Ireland, councils and healthcare services have recently been subject to significant attacks, which you may have heard about in the news. These cost a lot of money to fix, £10.4 million in one case, and government support is limited. This doesn't cover the disruption to the organisation and its services. We monitor a lot of networks and IT systems to see what's going on. Here's a typical week that we see. Every single day there are hundreds of warnings or alarms that someone is trying to break in or access data that they shouldn't be able to see. We know about these attacks and we work with our customers to enable action to be taken to keep things safe. I mentioned working hard. That's not a phone number on the desk. It's the total number of attempts we typically see in a week made by people trying to hack in. Because of all the protections in place, a lot of criminals have realised that the best way to attack an organisation is through the people who work for it, targeting them by what they can see on their computers, phones and through social media. They've worked out that, using some clever ways, people can be convinced to provide information, to install viruses and ransomware, and to grant access to others to sensitive data. They just need to find the right buttons to push to get through. Ultimately, people and what you do are the last line of defence. And don't forget, this can get personal. Aside from causing disruption and reputational damage, criminals usually want money, and they don't care whether it comes from where you work or you. So e-safety is really important. Now, let's look at some of the practical steps you can take to protect yourself, the people you care about, and your organisation when using technology and the internet. We'll look at using your laptop, PC and mobile, both at home and away, using email and messaging, browsing the web, and finally, using social media like Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Let's start over here. If you have Wi-Fi at home, you'll have a router, probably a bit like this. There'll be a password to access your wireless network too, but have you ever changed that password? Could someone else guess it? If you never have, it's time to make a change. Get help if you need it to set your password to something which no one else could ever know or work out. It's important to do this because if other people can access your Wi-Fi, then they may be able to see your data, hack your computer, or worse, access illegal content, all in your name. And while we're talking about passwords, here are some handy tips. Passwords are a pain, but they're so important in our lives at the moment that we have to treat them with care. So make sure no one can guess your passwords or find them out. And don't share them with other people you know. There's always a better way. Don't use the same password for everything. If a hacker can find the password for one site you use, they'll try it everywhere else. This is a big problem nowadays. You can use a password manager to help. Microsoft, Google and Apple provide free ones, or you can pay for a service like 1Password or LastPass. Oh, and to repeat, never give your password to anyone else. If someone from support calls to say they need it, they're probably not the support you think you're talking to. Hang up the phone before you get hacked. Here's another good tip. A lot of websites will let you confirm that it's really you logging in by using your phone to receive a code or just giving you a confirm button to push on there. They sometimes call this two-factor or multi-factor authentication. It's well worth turning this on, and it may be enabled on your systems at work already. Just take a look at the sites you use because many will now give you that option. Apart from anything, it means you don't necessarily have to change your password so often. It becomes just one of the things you need to log in. Now, every workplace has different rules around passwords, so try and find out what their password policy is. You might be able to use passwords that are more memorable than the norm. Oh, look out for these options too, because you may be able to use them at home and work. Do you have trouble thinking up passwords? Instead of a traditional password, you might be able to use a passphrase instead. Making up a normal password that passes the test can be difficult. You need to add capital letters, numbers and symbols, and hope you can remember it. If you're anything like me, you can't. So the good news is that you can now often use a passphrase. Passphrases are longer, but they don't have all that complexity and are easier to recall. As an example, just think of 3 unrelated words and push them together. As long as the result is around 15 characters long and is hard to guess, you're good to go. Why not give it a try? Also, depending on the laptop or mobile you may be using, you might find you can use your fingerprint or even give the camera your best pose to log in. There are a lot more options these days. Let's move on. We spoke before about some of the things that criminals are doing to get access to you, your information and money. Here's a little more detail, together with some practical steps that you really need to be taking. Always install official updates from Microsoft, Apple, or whoever makes your PC, laptop or mobile, and for the software that runs on it. This might be done automatically for you at work, but at home it's down to you. Find out how to update your technology, and set up auto updates where you can. If you get the opportunity to postpone an update, remember, you're just giving a hacker more time to attack you. If you're able to install software, make sure that you know it's coming from somewhere legitimate. Ask advice. Don't be tempted to install something new just because a message pops up telling you it's a good idea. Some older systems and software no longer get updates. Now, the devices provided to you from work should all be fine, and you should probably use those for your job. However, if you do have equipment running old systems such as Windows 7 or 8, or software like Adobe Flash installed, these provide a really simple route for a hacker to attack you. It's time to upgrade. The same applies to your phone. If it's very old, say more than 3 to 4 years, it might no longer get security updates. How about those malicious emails, texts and messages we spoke about earlier? Here are some ways to spot them. If something looks too good to be true, or is really unexpected, take care and look for warning signs. This email looks legitimate, but check the from address. Something's wrong here. If you click the link, it'll likely take you straight to a page asking for your credit card details. Here's another version. Well, international criminals don't always spell well. Businesses usually do. Look for errors. What about the website address? It's a little bit odd, and do HMRC really take payment for taxes in iTunes vouchers? Don't let someone frighten you into turning off your common sense. Finally, be careful when you receive a file. Were you expecting it? That unexpected invoice could contain ransomware. If it's unexpected, be cautious. Oh, and don't forget, there are malicious mobile phone messages too. What if you're told your device is infected or has a problem? If this happens at work, you can expect that your help desk or service desk will be clear and identify themselves properly to you. Microsoft won't call you directly about a problem with your computer. That's a hacker. If in doubt, hang up and call your help desk back on their published number. Here's another one. You're browsing the web and then, oops. Some websites contain malware that pretends to be a virus warning or a tool that can fix a problem. If you see something like this, stop browsing and close the window immediately. You may see similar alerts on your phone. Never download any apps that offer a simple fix to a security problem, or you'll probably end up with one. It's not always down to someone else. It's easy to make a simple mistake, say with email, that might cause real problems. Check out who every mail is going to. If you type, say, Adam into the to field, the computer might decide to send it on to a different one than the one you wanted. Also, CC. Remember, everyone who receives a mail can see who is in the to and CC fields, and you can give away other people's details really easily. Use BCC if you want to keep recipients' details confidential, or if it's a regular thing, talk to your work IT department about setting up a proper mailing list. That's enough about the bad stuff. One last section, and it'll be time for you to get on with the rest of your day or evening. Social media is a great way for you to communicate with others, and them with you, but you do need to take care. In fact, there's so much to say, we'd need another video. So, before we get to that, we recommend you take a look at this fact sheet. If you have a new smartphone, you may be able to take a picture of the code shown here to take a look at it. If not, the address is below. And that's it, we're done. We hope this has been really useful for you. One last thing to remember. The only person that wants to see you get hacked is a hacker themselves, so there is help out there. If it's relating to work or any equipment you might use for work, you should always contact the help desk there. And if it's something urgent, you really should get in touch with them immediately. Most organisations also have a place on their intranet which includes all their policies and guidance, and that's well worth a look. Outside of that, don't forget online sites that can really help, like the NCSC's Cyber Aware site. This has a lot of practical guidance and non-technical language and is a good place to check out. Again, the code is on the screen right now and the link below, and we'll put it at the end of this video too. And that's it. My time's up. Hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you in the future.